We've got some marketing features of the week. So if you haven't already, the AEO tool is in beta. So I guess one of the things to note, if you did set this up prior to the 15th of 14th of April, things have changed. So you might need to go and reset things up because it didn't have your ICP and your location when it was looking at prompts. So that's important, especially when you're trying to measure how successful things are. But at this stage, we are just setting it up and testing it for ourselves and for customers. So we don't have anything to report just yet, but we are working through it. But I encourage everyone to go and have a look at it and be aware, go and play with it and see how you're faring. And visibility does change based on all of those prompts that are actually selected. So just be aware of that. We've had customers that have had really good scores and customers that had really bad scores based on the prompts because they say, I want to target this particular sector with this particular ICP. And they actually have no content on that. They don't rank anywhere. And so they get a really poor score and they go, this is really bad. So just be aware of that and just understand how it works because it'll be helpful in the future.
I just want to make a comment on this because I'm early days to this. But the reason I want to make a comment is because we're telling people just go and have a look at it, see how you go. I want to prepare people that they might be underwhelmed or disillusioned by it, as I have been so far, but I feel I just need to give it some more time looking at it. And I'll tell you why. Because when I went through, I followed the steps and, we've got our ICP and everything set up. It went through and it created all these prompts, these suggested prompts. And I just went, okay, accept them. Maybe that's right. Like they didn't look at all relevant when I was going through them. Okay, I'll try them. And of course, then it went through visibility 0 because we don't match in them. So now I've gone back and I'm manually creating prompts for it to check and go through. So the reason I mention this is because, well, listeners, you might do the same and think, what is going on? I've got 0 visibility. This doesn't work. So I actually think the way it guides you through and the default prompts it creates are often, could be wrong. So keep that in mind. And then the second thing I just wanted to mention is some of the recommendations it gives on the back of that, I think are absolute rubbish. So some of the, to rank better for this particular prompt, it was giving recommendations like write a listicle, and here, do you want us to write a listicle using AI? And I'm like, this is just more content slop. Like it's absolute, as if the answer is going to be, write a listicle about, 10 tips for automating or whatever it is, so that's my warning. I think it's good to get on top of this and setting it up so you're getting some visibility, but I think the recommendations are probably, take with a grain of salt. But as you said, Ian, more on that in the future once we've had a couple of months to play with it and really, really test it fully.
All right. And then the next thing is custom fonts and emails. Now, Craig, I have not tested this. I have enabled it in portals, but I know someone on your team has.
Yeah, and this is actually welcome news because for some clients that have very visual brands, think designers, jewelry, fashion, restaurants, maybe even construction and premium goods, the way an email looks is really important. And so we've got clients who almost do everything as an image in their emails. We chop up images to create newsletters. I'm like, wow, just because they need that brand consistency. So this is one step along the way of alleviating that, using their custom fonts in head. Like they would have their headers were actually images.
Yeah.
So they could have the brand. So custom fonts is great. It is in beta. We're just doing it with one client at the moment. And so far it looks like it's a step in the right direction.
So Craig, let me ask you, like a lot of the times, like when you're sending emails, it depends on the email client that's opening the email and reading it. Do you think that these email clients have become better over time to recognize these more custom fonts as opposed to just the standard fonts that are available?
Oh, good question. I'm not actually sure how it pulls it in, but so I don't know. Actually, is the answer to that. But I assume a lot of them, they do previews, right, that are a bit of a browser rendering.
Yeah. So I guess here's what's interesting, and this is what I would tell people to do, is if you're using this, there is the email testing feature of all the clients that you will get, that people generally use. It's provided by Litmus. And you can actually run that test with your marketing emails and you can see what it turns out to be, right? And this is a really common mistake people don't utilize, is that to see, especially if you're going to corporate, they often have images blocked, etc. And so just seeing how this renders in those particular clients is actually really valuable. And even the other day, I highlighted it to someone and they're like, oh, is this in HubSpot? I'm like, yes, it is. So the email marketing, email sending test feature is actually really useful. So I'd recommend you use that.
That's a great tip. By the way, Ian, that's another example
Yes.
of an all-in-one platform. Build, they'll use some other platform build, and then they'll use Litmus as a third-party tool to test it. And it's like, well, how much did you pay for that extra testing?
Correct.
Oh, we wanted to be right. Yeah, what's built in? Anyway, I'm a broken record here. Moving on.